Last night we've received another Counter-Strike 2 update which brought some interesting changes to the game, which is really good to see. A few of these may be a direct result of the ongoing RMR for Copenhagen, but some of the other changes I would like to highlight in this video are specifically things that users have requested for quite some time, as an example CL_Bob, which has returned. Maybe not exactly as players were hoping for, but it's good to see that Valve has been somewhat listening to the feedback of the community. As always, of course, the timestamps are in the description down below, so if you want to skip ahead to a specific topic, feel free to do so. And without further ado now, let's dive into today's update. Let's start with some of the more interesting changes that were introduced with this update. CL_Bob. On the left you can see the old one, and on the right the brand new one. With some weapons it looks pretty bizarre and I'm not fully sure yet how I feel about this one, but in my opinion this is a good step in the right direction, and I really hope that Valve will be able to adjust this one further with future updates. However, for now I feel like I'm going to stick with the old one. A proper command or way of showcasing FPS in CS2 natively has been missing for quite some time now. This also changes with this update because Valve added the performance diagnostic HUD element that can be configured in the game settings menu. You can find this under the telemetry setting, which is really good to see. This is also something users have been requesting for quite some time now, and I'm very glad Valve has finally added this. However, something I would like to point out is that at the time of recording this video, you're not able to change the location or position of the brand new HUD element. Hopefully Valve will implement some further customization for this brand new feature with a future update. Alongside with the introduction of this brand new feature, Valve ended up removing CQ_netgraph. And lastly, for the drastic changes, let's talk about the AWP change. Valve finally fixed the sniper scope performance hitch which could occur, as well as adjusting the visual treatment, so let's talk about this. You can see the comparison on screen right now. On the right you have the brand new visuals, and on the left you have the old one. The brand new one kind of has this fishbowl effect, which in my opinion doesn't look too bad. However, if you do not like this brand new effect, you're currently unable to turn this one off, as the command that allows you to do so is locked behind SV_cheats, which is pretty unfortunate. Valve, please change this. And now let's move on to the regular patch notes. For the animation changes, Valve fixed the animations when climbing ladders, which were still broken before this update, but even after this they still need some more work. As well as some changes for the menu agents wielding tasers, and for the cookery knife hold animation during the team intro sequence. Valve also made some spectator changes, which may be a direct result of the ongoing RMR. Moving on to the gameplay changes, which are mainly focusing on the Zeus and Deathmatch. The Zeus can now be bought each life and will rebuy automatically if you do not have the random weapon mode selected. As well as the Zeus now giving you double the points if you get 2 kills with it in the same life and Deathmatch. There were some changes made to logging as well, which may be once again a result of the ongoing RMR. Moving on to the miscellaneous changes. Valve improved the view model animation smoothness when the client frames get low or unstable, as well as fixing some key binding issues, which was mentioned on the first startup after this update. We've also received a bug fix with the skill group animation at the end of competitive matches, which hopefully addresses the animation playing each time as if you've just gotten your rank for the first time. And lastly, for the miscellaneous changes, we've received various performance improvements, which are definitely quite important. As with the most recent updates, performance has decreased by quite a bit. Last but not least, let's talk about the map changes, which are basically a bunch of clipping improvements, but I still wanted to showcase some of the maps in more detail. For Overpass and Vertigo we've received various clipping improvements, but I would also like to highlight for Overpass that the self boost in this location has once again returned, which is pretty cool to see. Moving on to Nuke, which has also received various clipping adjustments, specifically around the vent area. As you can see, before this update the player feeds were sometimes clipping through the vents, which as far as I'm aware has been resolved with this update. Moving on to Anubis, where Valve removed the boost that allowed players to leave the playable space or playable area, which I showcased in the previous video. The CS2 Twitter account also ended up responding to the original tweet with thanks, we'll add a ladder so it's easier. And so a ladder they added. Quite hilarious, good job Valve. And that's already going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for watching it. I hope it was enjoyable and informative to watch, and as always of course, I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.